Can everybody hear me? Hi, everyone. If you can hear me, wave. We're having audio problems. Now I can't hear Dale.
Now?
Yes.
I'll switch this. I don't know what's happened there because let's just take that off then.
I can hear you. Can everybody else hear us?
I can hear you on here, but I couldn't hear you on there. I don't know whether it's because that one, your coin cam was muted. Because I can hear, I heard myself on there, so I had to switch this one off and return that one back on. But it wouldn't work on your way on. So now I switch this off. Now I can hear you back on here. Because that's what's getting the echo. So yeah, but we can hear, as long as we can hear each other, that's the main thing, I suppose.
Oh yeah, Ogre Coin says, yeah, I can hear clear. That's good.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly now. 1775, you said, right?
1775. This is. I'm going to be relying. I'm going to be relying heavily on you today.
Okay. Do you want to go back? I'm trying to find all my 1774. I can go back even earlier than that.
Well, I have an example of the 75. We would just do 75, 76, 77, 78, and 79. We don't have to. We're not going to go back further than that because we're trying to keep it simple.
I've got 1773.
That's too early. But you can talk about it a bit, but that's pre-Revolutionary War.
Well, King George III is basically what we're talking about anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he's the Mad King, right?
Well, he went mental. He went crazy, but he was the very first. People may not know about this. He was the very first king to actually speak English as his first language.
Yeah, because they're German.
Yeah, he had rest of German, but he's actually a native king. It took hundreds of years to get here. I mean, you're talking back in the from 1066. But he's the very first native king to actually have his first language as. But yeah, he went mad. He went greedy. Scrapping, Sandman. Oh yeah,
nice to see, guys. We're having fun working through a few technical issues, but today we're going to be talking from 1775 and a little bit before that, apparently, through to 79, and discussing the history that went on during those time frames when those coins were minted. And again, I remind everybody I'll be randomly selecting 3 people who have contributed the most, whether they be online or not, in the live channel here, to receive a coin for their contribution as a reward. And 1775 is our basic starting period. And I think that's a really cool thing because, you get into the modern stuff and you're talking about modern history and all the COVID and all that. So like the last couple of years really sucked when it came to trying to show up events and stuff. But you start talking 1775, they have some very cool things. Hi, Copper Owl Coins. I'll give you a couple of classic examples to just prime the pump here so you can have an idea. If you take a look at our main screen here, we'll go to the solo here. You're seeing a 1775 British farthing with George III on the obverse. And really, I want you to think about how it was used in the colonies by the farmers, businessmen, redcoats, Minutemen, the whole 9 yards. Because we're talking, Minutemen too, because The coinage, as you know, during the colonial days, they used not only the British coins, which were typically the copper variety and whatnot, but they used a lot of the Spanish silver and French silver stuff that they managed to get off of ships through privateering. Right, and I like that. Anyway,
every time you bring that up, it makes me laugh.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you're looking at April 19th. The American War of Independence began at Concord and Lexington, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
and little things went on that a lot of people don't know about. For instance, on the 1st of May, a bust of George III was found in Montreal, adorned with beads, a cross, and a mitre with the words "Pope of Canada, Sot of England. A reward of 500 guineas does not lead to the apprehension of the culprit." Now, that's very cool.
I'm just trying to find my my old stuff. So,
Ethan Allen took Fort Ticonderoga during 1775. Martial law was proclaimed in Canada. And, of course, what is going on here?
where's all my George III coins?
Have you lost all your George III coins here?
They're there. I've got the ticket. I don't know if the box has been dropped or. Oh man, this is a mess.
Okay, what else can go? Now my computer has gone.
Try restarting it. That's probably the best way of doing it. Give me a second. Let's just. I know who's going to be stuck tonight. It's going to be Evil Arch Conservative because there's no Indianapolis 500 to talk about.
Unless, of course, they're horse drawn.
Horse drawn, yeah. Chariots.
That's, I believe, it's 1858 was the first penny, and that was actually made in the UK.
Yeah. Oh, come on! Where's my King George III?
Yeah, gotta love apples. Let's see, what else did we have happen in 1775? General Schuyler's and Richard Montgomery with 1,000 Americans come to Canada and invite the inhabitants to rebel. Actually, it's very true that the Americans wanted all of North America to join their rebellion against Britain.
Well, let's start from the beginning with George III, because he's the main king, and from my country anyway.
Yes.
And he was the first one to actually. We spoke about this with Pontiac and the Revolution and this and all that against Fort Detroit and stuff. And you know more about this than I do. I think if I get anything wrong, I can't remember the actual dates. I think it was. I think it was just after the Revolutionary War, or before, no, it was before the Revolutionary War, wasn't it?
It was before. It was. You got to remember.
Before,
you got to remember that the nation, the Indian nations, were more aligned with France,
yes,
than with England. And when England took over New France, it really pissed off the natives.
Yeah,
and they went through Pontiac. He got all the different Indian nations together.
That's right.
And they really put the hammer down on the British, especially at Fort Detroit.
Well, it wasn't a case they went against the British. It's what I can't remember the general's name.
Oh, he was an idiot.
Yeah, he
I
was an
think
idiot, and
I
he
think what was his
stopped
name? I think his
gift
name was
giving.
Hamilton.
Yeah, he stopped gift giving, which was
That's
like a
right. And
really
gift
big.
giving was one of the things that they relied on.
Yeah, and he stopped arms and armor giving,
They wouldn't give
and
him
of course the
ammunition
Native
for their
Americans.
rifles. That
Yeah,
was a big one too.
yeah, that stopped because that was their way they hunted,
Yeah,
and of course it put a lot of people into starvation, and
yeah.
That's why Pontiac went mad because um, and the general who was before him knew him anyway. They knew Pontiac. They actually met each other,
Mm-hmm.
and they were actually good friends. And and they said, whatever you do, do not go against the native colonials. But the other general, he said, no, you bow to me, kind of thing. You know, I'm here. We won, and it was hey Diamondbag, and but even King George III saw this,
Yeah,
and when they went to as a treaty, the very first, if you want to call it the Bill of Rights, you know, skip a few years, um, he that's where you come up with the Indian reservations,
that's right. Yep.
and it's still in writing today, I believe. And that was from 1778, I believe, something like that.
Actually, it was just before that because they put it in place before the Americans revolted.
Right, okay, that's right, yeah, because it was supposed to be all like a, you know, and they were sort of pushed aside. This is what, and that was including the French, the Spanish, the English, the Dutch, I believe, and they said that we're going to call it the Indian reservations, and that was it. And it's been like that ever since. So, do you know
That
what?
was
I
a
found
good
that
that was a
story by
good
mistake.
documentary we watched.
Um, just really, before 1775, because I can't find my others. They must be in a different box somewhere. And the first one I have here is 1773, and this is there's no mintage to this. This is a farthing, and that's what Numismatics was actually featuring right now.
Good. You can show that because my computer's acting up.
And what the on this particular one, you'll have the NI and dot. On some of them, they don't have the dot, and the dot after the NIA is kind of rare. The NIA, which is um, you can't really see it very well. I mean, this is a really, really old coin, but I don't know if to get it out or not. To be honest, I ain't got any more flips.
Really takes that light to come from the right angle to make it work, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's dark over here as well,
well, they are so dark.
Yeah.
and what? Actually, I'll get it out. I think I've just got to find some scissors.
So September 25th of 1775, Ethan Allen, with 150 followers, were captured at Long Point and were sent to England.
I
A lot
know
of
of a
them was
business these days called Ethan Allen Jewelers. I wonder if there's any relationship to the Ethan Allen you've just mentioned.
there you go.
Probably not.
Wonderful.
What I like about this coin, this is actually circulated, and so this could have been anywhere. This coin, and that's what we're trying to establish. It's nice to have lovely looking coins and perfect minted coins, but these coins tell a lot of a bigger story.
Oh, the history is just amazing in those. How many people handled that coin? Where was it?
Exactly, and a lot of them, if you notice some of these, the NIA on the reverse where the Britannia is should have a dot on it. Should be missing a dot. Listen, if you look under the, if it's a bit closer, you actually see a dot after the N. Um, and there's no real. And if you notice, they used to use the J's as the ones. Let's try and get a bit closer. Silver
You know,
Scorpion.
You know, a lot of people hear about the goings on in the colonies and how General Cornwallis was fighting and all this stuff, but they don't realize how much the Americans were trying to get Canada to join them, and they were constantly having border clashes. I mean,
Amongst themselves.
yeah, I mean General who was it? General Montgomery actually asked Montrealers that they're defenseless. You can't defend yourself. Let us do it.
Was General Montgomery English?
General Montgomery was, let's see what it says. General Montgomery tells Montrealers that being defenseless, they cannot stipulate terms, but promises to respect personal rights. Yeah, he must have been the rebel forces. He demands the key of the public stores and appoints 9 a.m. tomorrow for the Army's entrance by the Recollet Gate. So it sounds like he's demanding that the Montreals surrender.
Right.
And they didn't.
That doesn't sound wise, knowing what I know of the French.
At the Battle of Quebec, British forces repulsed an attack by the Continental Army to capture Quebec City and enlist French Canadian support. Having captured Montreal, American troops failed to take Quebec City or elicit local support and withdrawal within a year. So there's a lot going on that you didn't see in The Patriot, the movie.
Yeah, let's just go back to here a second.
Well, Silver Scorpion, just grab your Google search and take a look.
I mean, on the 1st of January 1775, I can't find. I'm gonna have to go through these properly. These ones here. I put a lot of them away, you see. So. Oh no.
1775, November 8th, Colonel Benedict Arnold, bedraggled regiment, arrives at Quebec City from Maine.
Oh, wow. So that's another, that's from the 13 colonies then, isn't it?
Yeah, at that time, he was part of the rebel, the American forces. And then he reverted back, to the British afterwards.
I'm just looking at some of the British. There's not much really going on throughout the year, apart from obviously the colonial wars and stuff. Our Prime Minister at the time was William Pitt the Younger, was a Tory.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Girth said original rescue lifeboat is tested on the Tyne River. General elections have given Pitt an increased majority. But yeah, the colonial wars. I was quite impressed with the with Blackwatch. I didn't realize Blackwatch is actually there.
But of course,
because I don't think without Blackwatch, I don't think the British would have held very well. Because against like guerrilla warfare, the British were more open warfare, volley shots and stuff. But where Blackwatch is used to guerrilla warfare throughout the Highlands and stuff.
I see your information there, Jason. My computer is moving in reverse right now because I'm still on copper lines. Of course, the site can't be reached. Oh.
You want me to get to a site?
What it is Jason has got a whole bunch of really good information on the Discord under Sandman Coins and Collectibles.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some great pictures for 1779 coins.
And so how do I get there? Just go to Discord?
You go to Discord.
Here, let me just sign. I don't know. Do I have to be a person who's already signed in?
I think you have to be. But
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm trying desperately to get mine to work here, but I'm getting the wonderful color wheel that we all love. Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
So we're
this is the earliest one I've. I know I've got more of these somewhere, but this is an absolute beauty. This one, 1773. This is like the bullhead. You will see a lot of it on the bullhead
right.
portrait with King George III.
Oh.
But yeah, he was classed as the Mad King at the end. You know, he would do all sorts of stuff.
Do you both of you guys use Discord?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I guess I should sign up. I hate to sign up for another darn thing, you know.
But you know what? The Silver Picker Squad is worth being part of.
I don't doubt it, honestly. It's nothing to do with squads or great people or things. It's signing up to something else.
Hello, I think it's actually going to work for me now. Let's go to.
I
know that's wrong thinking, but.
And I got a 2020 King George III £5 coin.
Oh, it's on Dale's Discord. Okay.
I'm trying to get to it. I can't get to it. I'm that's what I've been playing with.
Come on, get over there. Oh, there it is.
Right. Let's do this again. Right.
Yeah, got my color wheel again.
What this thing is having a problem with today.
I'm on there.
See, that's what happens when you go before 1858. You get all these problems. Everything runs a little slower.
Some smoke signals back then. Now we got.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
These days in electronics, we call it the magic blue smoke, and it's in every electronic device. And if you let out the magic blue smoke, you're done.
Uh-huh.
Like to say hi to everybody in the chat tonight. Sandman, Evil Arch Conservative, of course, Silver Scorpion, Stephen Keeley, and others here as I go back. Ogre Coins, myself, Copper Owl, Scrapping, Hoarding, Tinkering Funds. Thanks for filling things out and coming for a visit. There you
go. Oh, it's almost there. Thank you. Well, we've covered 1775. We might as well hit on a little bit of 1776 while we're struggling through all this.
Okay, 1776.
1776, the United Empire Loyalists were formed, and they were all those that were displaced by the Revolutionary War in the States, and they moved up through New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. So you go to places like St. John, New Brunswick now, you can actually find the Loyalist cemetery is actually in the heart of St. John, New Brunswick. Nice little park benches and stuff. You can sit amongst history and read the gravestones if you want.
It's a nice, respectful thing to do out loud. I've always enjoyed walking through a grave or cemetery or any remembrance. And if there's names to be said, say them out loud.
Very cool. 1776, Benjamin Franklin, Samuel Chase, and Reverend John Carroll, a Jesuit priest, urged Canadians to send delegates to Congress, promising toleration. Franklin brings a printer and a press for a newspaper to mold public opinion. Canadians regard Franklin as an enemy, and the priests remind Father Carroll that unlike some of the provinces, Britain tolerates the Roman Church. The Romanish Church, they call it Roman Catholic. Very interesting.
Okay, 1776. Let's look at normal dates. There is no images for the coins, of course, on here. There's a 1776. They're going to be made in Birmingham anyway. And Leonard Wyon made the coins. Let's have a look if there's any half pennies. King George III. So look at some of these. 1771, 72, 73, 74, 75. There's no 76 made for them. There's going to be broken dates on these pennies. I don't think the pennies is made. 1776. They're going to be the cartwheel penny anyway. What year was that? 17. Yeah, the penny wasn't made until 1797.
It's a little later.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Dale. Dale. Jason put in some really good ones here where he's showing U.S. colonial coins pre 1792. Spanish used in the West, future Texas, California, Arizona areas, also Florida. French includes Louisiana and parts of Canada. So as we discussed before, there was a real hodgepodge, especially when it came to silver. You know, it was
all over the place. It's going to be colonial. It's going to be colonial currency more than anything else.
Yeah.
And so, you know, to get to UK coins, you're looking more like Victoria time when it starts coming in.
Really, yeah. So it settles down a little bit.
Yeah. Just trying to. I mean, there's no point showing half crowns or sovereigns because, you know, when I'm not going to afford them. I'm looking at George. I got George III, and that's not until later on. That in.
It's interesting. It's when I take a look at the history, Wikipedia is definitely not accurate because they keep referring to the occupation of St. John's. It wasn't St. John's. It was St. John.
No S.
No S.
But we have a St. John's as well. That's a different place.
Yeah,
that's
it's in Newfoundland.
Confusing for people.
Yeah,
because they've heard of it, so it sounds right. And we apologize as Canadians for confusing y'all. Just, you know, give us a second of your attention, then you'll start getting it right. That's all we're saying. We want to help you be better people, like every good Canadian, would.
More like George IV. George IV is going to be like the era ready to start in, because I think the British Empire is not. I don't think. I mean, the British Empire is just being formed when George III takes power. Anyway, you know, he starts spreading out.
Do you realize how different things would have been if the taxation issue was resolved without the colonies rebelling?
Yeah, it wouldn't. It was quite odd because
what if North America had become one?
North America would have been part of the British Commonwealth.
Yeah,
probably just like Australia and Canada broke away and became separate nations, but still within the Commonwealth. And I could see that the United States would have been tied right in. We would probably be one huge country.
The United Empire of North America.
You never know.
Never know.
Yeah, it's hard.
And all it took was some stupid decisions by some old politicians.
Well, George III didn't help by wanting to have the tax back for the wars.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where he went mad. You know, the politicians just said, no, just leave it. We got the colonies, but there was ever wars in India with the Indian Trade Company as well. So we're just fighting on the left, was fighting on the right. And for a little nation with a lot of colonies, plus South Africa as well, we kicked the French out for argument's sake. And then you basically asked the French come and, as we was all over the place, the French came back, and that's in a nutshell. Yeah, the Civil War would never have happened. I don't think the Second World War would have ever have happened.
You got to remember too, though, that Great Britain also later on actually abolished slavery.
Yeah,
so there would have been the issue where in the future, I forget exactly what year it was, but what was the year they abolished? 1809. I remember reading the coin.
I think it was 1701. I think.
Think about the abolition of slavery on your 50p. I'm pretty sure it says 1809.
I'm pretty sure it's 1801, but
it could be. But anyway, it was after the revolution.
Yeah, it was.
So wouldn't the southern states then have had another beef, but this time with Great Britain? Oh, we could have rewrite the whole history. It would be terrible.
You've heard, obviously, everybody is William the Conqueror, right? 1066. Yeah. Well, he was against slaves. So it's absolutely illegal in England to actually own a slave. So that was written in 1066. And so when he took over from King Harold, the last Saxon king, slavery really ended with him in 1066. It wasn't put into law in writing until 1801. But it was tried on before that a few times. It kept getting rejected because it's a lucrative business for the French and Dutch, because it's actually the Dutch who started it, believe it or not, when they went to the colonies they just used our ships mainly.
Yeah. An important thing to remember here too. We brought up Benedict Arnold earlier, and Benedict Arnold was actually very, very proud of what he was doing with the American forces. In fact, he was a damn good officer. I mean, he was victorious on Lake Champlain against the British, and in one of the clashes, he actually ran his whole fleet aground to avoid capture. I mean, the guy was an amazing general.
Well, did it work? Is better the question.
He had then later on he had issue. If I remember correct, I'm pulling this off the top of my head. His spouse had something to do with the Royal Military College, and that someone had been promoted over him, and it pissed him off. And his wife was a British, actually, still was a loyalist through her father. So through her and her father, they convinced Benedict Arnold to get back with the British, and they actually made him a general with the British forces, but he wasn't given any authority. They basically used him as a token. So he threw his whole career and his world, and he became, you're a Benedict Arnold, you're a traitor, right? Well, it had a lot to do with the fact that they screwed him over for a promotion.
Wow, that's a funny background. And you think about it, how many times has that motivated a person? Screw that guy, basically.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, since you put it that way, screw you. And then two great countries were born. January 10, 1776, Common Sense pamphlet published by Thomas Paine, advocating American independence. Paine was later almost executed during the French Revolution. They missed. They're French. They're crappy with guns.
He was a real pain anyway.
Hey, we did the best we could, huh? We took a gun, we put the bullet in, and we pointed in his general direction. Did not die. What do you want from me?
I think George III was the first king of Hanover. Now, if you don't know what Hanover is, Hanover
I do.
is a part of Cumbria. And
You're talking the House of Hanover.
House of Hanover.
Yes.
And through the Saxon ruling back then, it was illegal to have any kind of. I did a video on this on a coin going back a while ago with Queen Victoria, and he was the first. I'm pretty sure King George III was the first king to actually rule the entirety of Great Britain, including Hanover. I'm pretty sure that that's the same one.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at 1777.
Okay. 1777. Now, I know I definitely got a coin.
Yep.
March 9th. Adam
I'm
Smith.
going to go for a mining situation here. Let's see my coins. I'm just going to go for a mining situation.
Look at you.
Can we do? I've got a nice shiny 1970.
Yeah, you're a bit off there. Duchess of Kingston was found guilty of bigamy.
Good on her. She's definitely bucking the trend.
So if bigamy is being married to two people, is it mathematically thinking that three people would be trigonometry?
Triggetry.
Triggetry.
Bigotry and triggetry. Anything beyond that is a simple party in LA. Sandman says February 3rd, 1776, the embargo on exports from Ireland to secure supplies for the British Army fighting in the Revolutionary War, probably. So there was an embargo on exports from Ireland to secure supplies for the British Army fighting the Revolutionary Army War, something like that, anyway.
Well, July 4th of 1777, near Fort Ticonderoga, General Burgoyne offered condonement if colonists lay down their arms. Interesting.
There are so many old terms, that they're just not in general use today. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that one, honestly, either. Condonement. I don't condonement that whole thing at all. No condonement.
General Burgoyne's Indian and French allies desert at the Battle of Stillwater.
I don't condone that either. That's desertion. There's no condonement of that.
Yeah, articles of capitulation of 5,782 British under Burgoyne are written. Boy, British are getting their butts kicked.
I grew up with a guy with that last name, actually, now that you said it out loud. I'm going to blame his family. Okay.
The thing is, though, in those particular times, we had the war in India, as I said, with the Indian tobacco industries and stuff like that, and silk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we were trying to colonize Australia at the same time. I'm pretty sure we had the end of more or less the end of the colony war. Our home issues as well, homeland issues.
Of course.
And I'm pretty sure there was still things going on with France, closer to home in different countries. There was so much going on throughout the world was changing big time, changing. I mean, going back not so long ago through those wars, we also beat Napoleon as well. So the Napoleonic Empire was crumbling. There was huge changes. So from 1760 from till now, there's a huge change.
Oh, massive. I'm just reading some of the stuff in the comment section here, and it's blowing me away. I've never heard of this. It's one thing to know about the 13 colonies, but you're looking in 17. We're talking 1777 here. People of New Connecticut, which is actually Vermont, declared independence from England. Then the following day, Vermont declared independence from New York. So talk about you're splitting from the mother country. Now you're splitting up into individual states.
Yeah, and I think that's where it all started from. That's why you, like America, even though it's one country, has 50 different states, 50 countries really, 50 different laws.
Marquis de Sade is arrested without charge, imprisoned in Vincennes Fortress. Well, really, can you really torture the guy? He'd love it.
You've fallen into my trap. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. Please don't.
Oh man, I'm going to
Just
sort this
saying.
out big time, and then find out what I have and what I haven't got.
1777, the Forage War, a partisan war of small skirmishes in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
You had skirmishes right in Jersey, right here in Jersey. Skirmishes, I'm telling you.
February 16th, 1777, astronomer Charles Messier adds M53 to his catalog. Globular cluster in the Coma Berenice. Must have been a little more challenging back then with the telescopes they had. Oh, you hear Paul Revere, but that's different. Sybil Luddington, age 16, rides 40 miles in New York to warn her father's militia of the approach of the British.
The British are coming. The British are coming, Dad.
Yeah, never heard of that one before. That's cool. Ooh, ice cream has been coming on board.
Ice cream?
Yeah.
I thought the Egyptians invented ice cream.
Actually, I thought it was George Washington when he crossed the Delaware in winter. All the milk that he had with him froze up.
We're on now 1777.
Yeah. In the House of Lords, Lord Camden declares, "If I were an American, I should resist to the last such manifest exertions of tyranny, violence, and injustice." And that's happening in Britain. So even the House of Lords recognized that there was a real problem.
San Jose, California is founded. Just going through world history.
Now, the Grand Union flag, is the Grand Union flag the one with the, no, don't tread on me, with the snake?
I'm not sure about that.
I thought it was the circles.
The circles. Oh, you mean the original Stars and Stripes, where it had the 13 colonies?
Yeah, I thought that was.
No, apparently they had one that was the Grand Union flag. I'm curious. Grand Union flag. I want to look at that.
June 14th, 1777, U.S. Continental Congress adopts the Stars and Stripes flag, designed by Francis Hopkinson, replacing the Grand Union flag.
It's like the Stars and Stripes. It's not basically what Hawaii's got.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I think that's the Grand Union flag.
July 8, independent Vermont introduces a new constitution prohibiting slavery. Oh, there we go. Look at that. How sort of American is that? in its way.
There you go.
It's the Jack and Stripes forever, baby. Sounds like a good drink, like a Jack and Coke. I'll take that forever. Or even a jackalope. I'd like one of those too.
There you go. It's still flown today. The Grand Union flag.
Wow, where?
San Francisco.
Well,
City
okay.
Oh,
The
Oh,
Grand Union flag.
I had no idea that even existed.
because that's what Hawaii's got, isn't it? Hawaii's got a similar. That's why they have the Union Jack on theirs.
Do you know what? All these years, it's the first time I've ever seen it. I'm glad yours is working fast. Mine's still thinking.
I bet you can't wait to get your new.
Look at the Grand Union flag.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah, the 13 horizontal stripes obviously representing the thing, and the Grand Union flag is the Continental Colours, Congress flag, Cambridge flag, and the First Navy insignia.
I wonder how many people didn't even know that that existed, because I've never seen this before. Have you ever seen it before?
No. No, because it's just not Canadian.
It's not. It's unusual.
Ain't it?
Now we know what our red
It's-
ensign would have looked like.
That's the Hawaiian flag.
What's a Hawaiian? Let me see. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Getting all kind of learny now. There it is. In May 1777, Colonel Samuel Ebert's Continentals landed on the north end of Amelia Island at Old Town Bluff, approximately 1 mile north of Florida. Nice.
Boys.
Here we come.
Nice.
That's
Here we
very,
come.
very interesting.
Walking down the street.
Oh, let's move on to 1778.
Leonardo Norcross patterns a submarine diving suit. I remember that bloody big thing. Remember that huge?
It's the one where they had to pump the air in?
Yeah, it was. I don't know how they managed to walk. To be honest, muscle show.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody who did, all of you that do. Share us out too. If you have over 500, you have a community page. Could you just click on share underneath this video? It'll give you a choice to post. Hit that post button and then type in something nice about the Numismaniac, and then hit the post button, and it shows up on your community page. You can share this out, which I'm about to do right this very second.
That would be totally awesome, because I'm
Good
really
Lord.
coming up to a 500 subscriber giveaway.
I'm not sure how I didn't already do that, but here I go. I know I have it. Where is it? It's just that easy, like I said it. Okay, so I go to the thing and I hit the share, and it says create post, and I click on that, and it says post something, and I say, I love this show. See it, and then in capitals the word now, and I will hit the post button, and that's it. And that's all it takes for you to help us out. So please do.
Wonderful. 1778.
Okay.
Captain James Cook.
Yeah.
explored the Alaskan coast, seeking the Northwest passage back to the Atlantic. On the last of the 3 voyages to the west coast, he traveled to as far north as the Bering Strait and claimed Nootka Sound, Vancouver Island, for the British. While there, he trades for sea otter pelts. And on the way back to England, the crew almost mutinied, desperately wanting to go back to the Pacific Northwest after stopping in China and discovering how much sea otter pelts were worth.
Yeah, they wanted to make a business of that. Back to the Pacific Northwest to get some of them otters, and then back to China to fill our gold. Get gold.
Yeah, you should be way past 500, Jason.
I just checked, Sandman. I'm subscribed. Are you? Do the very same. And somebody get his.
Yeah.
Let's get his link in there. Actually, I'll get his link. No problem. As I say it out loud. Sandman Coins, folks. If you're not subbed, I'll have the link for you in a moment.
A total solar eclipse takes place across parts of North America from Texas to Virginia. The Anglo-French War takes place in 1778 to 83 begins. And Louis XVI of France declares war on the Kingdom of Great Britain. In the American Revolutionary War, First Battle of Ashanti, British and French fleets fight to a standoff.
Benjamin Franklin was sent to France as an ambassador. He so impressed the French, they absolutely adored him there, that they actually made these, they almost look like coins. They're ceramic tiles that they were giving away, and you can still get them if you're willing to pay the money for them. And they used them as commemoratives.
I think I saw one just the other day. I think I saw one on the street.
They tried to sell one on the Pawn Stars.
That is where I saw it. You were right. Okay, so that was that. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Learning brain.
John Day of New York is chosen as the 6th president of the Continental Congress.
Somehow the storage device is getting larger and new knowledge is being input.
Oh, this one's for the Canadians, boys. This one's for the Canadians. The 1778. The original form of hockey is explained to Peltiers by the indigenous, and soon after leads to the form of hockey seen today. Now, do you know what the original form of hockey was?
I think it involved cow patties.
It was lacrosse.
Well, lacrosse still exists.
And if you look at lacrosse and hockey,
similar.
Very similar, except now we're whacking it on ice.
Well,
and do you know who invented ice hockey?
We're waiting.
We're waiting.
Which country? Oh, sorry. Which Great Britain invented ice hockey?
Oh, you serious?
Check it out.
Well, let me put it this way.
Canada invented basketball.
And baseball, by the way. Canada and
the French invented snooker.
The Japanese invented falling on your own sword. It's not much of a sport. You can only play it once.
Keep that bloody sport.
That's the one-way sport, that is.
But if you've never seen, what you call it? What you said, brain fart. We're playing the indigenous game, please, with the rubber ball that you just said.
Lacrosse.
If you ever see lacrosse being played, you will note it has 3 times the brutality of hockey.
Oh, yeah.
The same way as rugby has 3 times the brutality of football. It is exactly a parallel that you can use that way. If you like it rougher than hockey, check out lacrosse.
Oh yeah, it's wicked. And the faster that ball travels, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
It's as hard as a hockey puck, basically, except round, and they have cantilevered sticks to throw it.
Yeah.
And
So
getting
you get
hit in
that
the
much
head
more
by it is
speed.
a way higher possibility because it's flying all the time. And you see how small they have to make the net for it to be challenging. A lacrosse net is 2/3 the size of a hockey net.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, people would be scoring all the time because the ball moves that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, lacrosse is a good sport. What about that game that I call for fun JLA, but is truly highlight? Have you ever seen a highlight?
No, I haven't.
It's played with a scoop. They play it on like a soccer field size thing, and they throw a ball that I don't know what its consistence of, but they use the scoops to throw it far distances, and it's played by guys otherwise running around in what looks like soccer gear. It's spelled Jai, and then Alay, Alai, JLA, but it's highlight.
This is kind of like Jiao Jai.
Jai coins, gifts,
Yeah.
music.
February 5th, 1778, South Carolina becomes the first state to ratify the Articles of Confederation.
February 5th, I was born. Woohoo!
Oh, special day for you.
Yeah, I'm big on it.
After landing at Nootka Sound in August of 1778, former British naval captain John Meares arrived from Macau, sailing under the Portuguese flag with 70 Chinese carpenters. He supervises the building of another ship and housing of Nootka Sound as the post becomes the center of the pelt and fur trade in the Pacific Northwest. Amethyst, welcome aboard.
How's it going?
Same thought.
Oh. Spinning mule invented to spin multiple strands of yarn. I've spun a few yarns myself.
So a spinning mule is an upgrade from a spinning jenny, then?
Apparently so.
I would think so, because I think the spinning jenny was the first spinning machine, was it not? I just know the word spinning jenny, and I want to work it into some kind of a smart-sounding statement. Would that work? I think the spinning jenny. I like things named Jenny, too. That's another thing. And
so you
things
like
named
Forrest Gump?
You're doing just fine, Jason.
Jenny. My heart went out for Jenny. She had a kind of a tattered life, but Forrest was always there. Jenny. That's one of those movies you have to see. I know there's a million of them, but definitely have to see Forrest Gump.
The only thing that crossed, we're getting on a tangent here, but the only thing that crossed my mind on that movie was Forrest Gump laying with Jenny. Will young Forrest end up with AIDS? What? I mean, the kid, she's sick. Poor kid.
Policeman just pulled the quick U-turn right in front of my house here to go the other way. Now, I am on a main street, so that's not too unusual, but he kicked on his lights and pulled that fast U-turn that you need to do when you got to be the other place right now, and off he went. Full speed ahead.
The first treaty between the United States and an Indian nation is negotiated with the Delaware. They are offered the prospect of statehood. Now, there's a unique thought. Can you imagine if they'd accepted statehood? You wouldn't have a reserve. You'd have a state for an Indian nation.
On September 19th, the Continental Congress passes the first budget of the United States. There's not really much happening.
Yes, EAC, they do. Overpriced.
Bubba Gump restaurant.
Yeah. Fish and chips. Shrimp. That sort of thing.
What you mean, like pie shrimp and?
I should
bubblegum?
go. I should go in there in my skipper outfit and see how they treat me. See if I get a discount.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
What's your name? Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
I wouldn't have a leg to stand on.
Just like the space shuttle. We go together like peas and carrots.
We are officially at war with one Indian nation as a treaty was never signed, the Seminoles. Yeah, but do you know at the same time, the Iroquois and the British attacked and massacred American settlers in western New York and Pennsylvania in 1778.
I'm trying to find some.
Anybody else want to be in the frontier? Yeah.
No, you're right.
Guess we're sending you.
I'm quite happy being the back tier.
So you got no 1778 coins, I take it there, Dale?
I trying to look for them. I can't find them. They must be somewhere around. Hang on. No. I found some I've got some other George III, but they're later on.
Later on. Right.
I got 17th century. I've got some 14th century jetting coins.
Oh, well, that's going a little too far back. I could bring out my 4th century AD.
Now you guys are getting ancient on me.
Yeah, this.
I'm just showing me age.
Okay, well let's move on to 1779 because now we actually got 1779 coins to show.
Yay!
1779 from the French colonies, a 1779 from Mexico. Ooh, silver. It's counterstamp too. That one from the French colonies. That's cool. And of course,
now that picture is on somebody's Discord, right?
Yeah, that's Jason added those. He shared that with us.
Right.
1779, Captain James Cook. Lucky old James Cook. Did you know that he was killed by the Hawaiian natives, cutting short his search for the Northwest Passage?
Because he was so darn handsome. That's why.
Well, I mean, his crew already
wanted
mutinied.
him, but all the men got mad because he was handsome and the girls would chase him around. So they followed him back to the boat one day. Truth. You don't hear this everywhere. Or maybe not. I'm just saying. No. They didn't happen like that.
The defeating of the floating batteries at Gibraltar, September 1780. Actually, I do have. There is a Gibraltar coin. I do have, where we took the island.
I really need some coins from over there, but not from Gibraltar. I need to get the one with my cat on it, the Manx, and I think that only comes from the Isle of Man.
Yeah, the other man.
They got my cat on a coin.
Oh, that's interesting.
The Manx came from there, apparently.
You sure it's the other man, not the Isle of Jersey? I'll find out for you anyway.
If you look up MANX cat, I think you'll find the details. See, every time I read Charles Messier, I expect this guy to be a hockey player. I don't know what's wrong with me.
No, it's no, Mark, not Charles. Mark.
What was his dad? This is earlier. This is, that could have been his grandfather, really. So this is a globular cluster. Well, that's a cluster. Found by a telescope and proven stuff like people understand what they're looking at when they're looking up and they're... We are not wondering if the world is round anymore. We have that figured out. That's why a guy like this can take a telescope out, point it in the sky, do some math, dial it in, and say, when you look through that eyepiece, there's going to be this thing M56 right in it, and it'll be there. Because he already understands how the whole world spins and what's going to be in the sky at any given time at any particular location. And that's because the Earth is round. Just saying.
I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, it depends which year you want. You got the 1990, which is a bit, and you got the 2019 Manx cat you're on about. What else we got on here?
Oh, what else do we got for 1779?
The American Revolutionary War, the Battle of Bayer Creek, or I think that's Byery. The 1779 near the confluence of the Bayer Creek with Savannah River and East Georgia, mixed with Patriot forces consisting of the militia and North Carolina and Georgia along the Continental Regulars, was defeated, suffering significant casualties. The route damaged Patriot morale. United States versus Great Britain. Casualties and losses: 150 killed and wounded, unknown wounded. That was from the American side, and the British was 5 killed and 11 wounded. The Armada of 1779. It was a result for the British, France and Spain. That's what I'm saying. We've got a lot going on in India. We've got a lot going on in Africa. We've got a lot going on in America. So we had to. Our forces were stretched everywhere.
It's interesting to see the alliances that were formed.
Yeah, I mean, France and Spain were on obviously the American side again.
Yeah.
But the strength: 66 ships from the French side and 30,000 troops. The British had 38 ships, 20,000 troops, and 39,000 military. 8,000 dead or sick from disease, and the British had 1 ship captured. That was it. Sort of like, hang on, we got Spain and France. The commanders and leaders was Commandant, I guess, the Olu Rivers. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Committee de la Vol. On the Spanish way, I can't even pronounce this, but the British was Sir Charles Hardley and Lord Amherst. So that was pretty interesting, to be honest. I mean, the world was changing big time. It was you can't even fathom what was going on, American Revolutionary Wars. American forces led by General Anthony Wayne captured Stony Point View, New York, from British troops in the Battle of Stony Point, obviously. The August 3rd, September, the Armada of 1779 English Channel, but no fleet action with no Royal Navy taking places.
It must have really taxed the British people a lot for so much happening all at once.
Yeah, I think a lot of it though was to do with the Indian Trade Company. I think that's where a lot of the money came from, from that side. Yeah. But yeah, I think everybody was poor. I think you either went to the military or you starved.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows unless you were there. Do you know what I mean?
Very much so.
I mean, I can't even get my head around how the people sailed for months going to one war. Don't know whether you're going to be passing away on the ship because of disease. You never get there, or you get as soon as you stepped off the boat, you God knows what happened.
Well, as you know, one of the biggest problems they had, especially with transatlantic ships going back and forth, I think we lost Dimebag. You ended up with all these diseases that were killing
Yeah.
off the Aboriginal peoples as well, which was bad.
I think what killed off a lot of the. I mean, we went back a little bit, say to the say before the French took over. I mean, the Indians and the North Native Canadians, so to speak, never had disease like the flu, and when they went over there, they had the flu, which killed a lot of them off. And that's what happened again. I mean, because I think George III used smallpox as a biological weapon.
That wouldn't be the first time that was done. It was actually done by the Boers during the Second Boer War. Joe Conqueror actually utilized cadavers and dead horses upstream from the British and the Canadians in order to make them sick. So yeah, it's not the first time that they've done something like that. So, today, just for today, I'd like you to choose the 3 that'll receive a coin.
Okay.
So who do you think should receive a coin today? It's not just me picking.
Before I do this,
Yeah.
I just want to read out a really interesting story here.
Yeah.
The American Revolutionary War, Battle of Flanders, head off to Yorkshire coast. The American ship Bonamy Richard, commanded by John Paul Jones. Now he was a rogue sailor who actually went onto shore against the British. He sailed against his own command. Oh man, I can't remember the whole thing. I watched a program about 4 weeks ago about John Paul Jones, and he tried setting a load of ships to say, in the ports. I don't know if it's down in Plymouth. At night. And he was a bit of a I don't know, go-getter, I guess. But I think he only sinks one ship. But yeah, he's a very, very famous person, John Paul Jones. Okay, today I will choose. Let me just have a look through my chat. Evil Arch Conservative definitely is one. Dimebag Darren and Sandman Coins and Collectibles. I believe.
Okay, your choice today. Then let's do it.
That's the ones I can see on mine anyway. There's no favoritism. It's just what I've been told to do by the skipper. So,
yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
This one is for Evil Arch Conservative, and they get. Oh, hello. You get yourself a 2020 Looney.
Ooh.
And it's a pretty one.
That's a very pretty one.
So EAC has that. Put that for EAC.
Mr. Scrapping Hoard.
I have to try something here.
Okay, let's see what Dimebag Darren Lowe gets. See if he's lucky like me and ends up with the coin from himself.
Well, you know what will happen if that happens, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Actually, I'm just checking something out here. Yeah, I can do it. That is so
Nope,
cool.
you don't want that one.
No. Don't pick and choose.
It's already gone. It's already gone.
Already gone.
It's already gone. Okay. There we go. We got one for you.
What do you got?
Oh, hello.
What is it?
1976 Canadian dollar.
A 1976
Nice
Canadian dollar. Oh, my legs are cramping. Dang, that hurts.
That just missed out on the 8% silver, right?
Oh no, it's much earlier. You got to go back 67, 68.
Oh, okay.
Few in 68.
So yeah, okay, about 4 years out. 10 years out. It's not
Okay.
still not far in the grand scheme.
And this one's for Sandman. Sandman's a toughie because he's got just about everything. So I don't know. What's he going to get? Oh, no. Hey, he'll like that one. He gets one of the brand new non-colorized Canadian dimes.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
The one with the fancy sailboat. The
Going sideways.
going sideways. That's very cool. That's a nice one.
All right, right on.
Cool. Put that in his envelope.
Congratulations, everybody.
Make sure you just envelope me and don't make it any rush to get to me, honestly.
Oh, I'm not sending anything out till the end of the month anyway.
Me, with, when you make a budget and then something happens, like they decide that you can't come to do karaoke for 4 weeks because new rule.
Right.
Well, that's a certain amount of income that I had in mind. Not only that, but they had booked me for New Year's. So I, A, didn't take any other bookings for New Year's, and B, I gave them a sweetheart deal. Like I just turned up the tap a little tiny bit for the New Year's, like a little tiny bit. And I was going to go down so good. I was going to have all this extra pocket money and do this and that and the other. And then, dang.
What happened?
Yeah, all your plans, you might as well forget it. So,
yeah,
actually, the other day I gave out, I did another giveaway, and I'm thinking to myself, no more giveaways until you can send the damn things out. And I got a little pile of envelopes that are sitting here and one box. Do you know who that box goes to, Mr. In the Middle? I got to get it to you.
I guess that's going to.
There's a box. Actually, there's a box for Numismaniac, and there's a smaller box for you. But the smaller box for you is missing like 2 things I want to put in it that I don't have yet. Maybe 3 things. And if I can get them, I would like to. So, but I have to do a search for them, and I haven't had a chance to do a search. We could send what I have in mind to you anytime, basically. But if it was as complete as I could make it, I'd be happier.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Really, really do.
Well, it's a double effort of both of ours, and it's just it's funny what's elusive when you get right down to it. It's just like this really run of the mill kind of one I have not come across, and I've voiced my concerns to other Canadians and told them I need this. So I'm hoping somebody's going to drop it in the mail, and I might just open an envelope soon and go, thank God. Meanwhile, it's the search. The search continues, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
because I would like to do it. It has to come a long way to get to you, so I would prefer it was as I'd like it to be when it leaves, ideally.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I really do. I got so much going on at the moment. Well, me and Zoe has. We just got a car back the other day, and it's gone again. So we can't even drive it now.
What kind of car? Please don't say Toyota.
No, it's a Vauxhall.
Okay, well,
and
good.
we went to go and get a new clutch in it.
That's good.
Christmas Eve, we went to do some work, and it just wouldn't drive. And we managed to get it to a garage after Christmas. But there was a few personal things that happened as well, which Numismaniac, I told Numismaniac about, which I couldn't go to. And we had the car back after Christmas and had it one day, it broke down. And I've been waiting to get all this post out to everybody. And of course, it's not our post office, not local, the one I want to use, because they're renowned for losing stuff. so I want to take it to a main post office because it's like quite a bit. And so the car, we've had to get a few friends to try and push it round to the front of the house because it's a few streets down. As you've seen our streets, there's nowhere to park. So we've been waiting for it to be empty so we can get it out here. And we went to work on Friday, and Zoe goes, because I'm not allowed to drive, because obviously my epilepsy. So, and I can't get into gear. It won't go into gear at all. So whether there's a leak from the clutch part to the gearbox, which is destroying the gears, and they're not telling us anything about it because the guy seems to be a bit of an awkward git at the moment, from my perspective anyway. Seems nice, but they don't feel like they want to. We don't have the money to fix it. We spent nearly £1,000 getting it fixed, and it's now broken down again. But because Zoe has left her job because of my illness, she only works when she can, and she's had to refuse work because we got a car. We don't have a car. We've earned in a whole month. We've earned 28 quid. That's it. That's all we've earned in a whole month. And she's threatening about our rent, and we were threatening about because we rent a house. It's really, really expensive, and we're pretty worried at the moment.
Too.
So
we rent a house too. I know what you mean. Ours is a five bedroom house. It's lucky that we have this many people, and that like 3 of us are employed.
I mean,
well, 4 really, 4 in a way.
I mean, I had to leave a really, really fantastic job back in 2009 because of my illness, and I was training at the same time to be underwater welder as well, and which broke my heart. Which I took a lot of training to get to where I was, and I went to work as normal, and well, it's just every minute felt like an hour. And I took all my apparatus off. And I was drenched. It felt like it was, because all that's going on, I'm just sweating. I don't even feel sweat. You know what I mean? And I said to my supervisor, "Because that's all the welding I've done all day." And then he goes, "That much?" She went, "How have you done that much?" I goes, "Because it feels like I've done lots and I haven't." And my kidney function died, so basically went up to 1,000, and it went back down again. And I fought to keep my job. And I was doing 1 hour a month just to keep my job because I didn't want to leave. I was so stubborn. So yeah, but yeah, it's hard work.
You've gone through a lot, Dale. I mean, myself, I widowed a lady that went through a kidney transplant, and she actually received her brother's kidney, and I saw what she went through, and it's a tough go, especially when you're on dialysis, then you're waiting for the transplant, and then anti-rejection drugs and all the rest of the stuff, and dealing with swelling, and she was on prednisone. She swelled up like a chipmunk, for Pete's sake. It was tough. It was tough.
I know the curse of prednisone.
Yeah.
Not a good drug.
We all go through. There's no competition. We all go through hardship.
It is hard. But we're rooting. We're rooting for you. With you got the right attitude, and that's it's that part of you that's gonna get you through everything.
Absolutely. I hope so. My inspiration is the people around me. Keep smiling every day. My son's got cerebral palsy. He's wheelchair bound ever since he was born, and he's 16 now, and everybody's got something, and you just smile and this is my escape coming onto here and enjoying myself. So when I have conflicts going on, it's something, it's irrelevant to me, so it's everybody's going through a lot, and it's no competition. It's like, oh, my illness is worse than your illness.
Oh, no, never. That's the wrong way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's sympathy. I don't like sympathy. That's between shit and syphilis.
That's my fault.
That's empathy is fine.
Yeah, empathy, care. I mean, I met
You
some
know,
incredible people. You know, if it went through this, I probably would never have met these people. You know, and but yeah, it's the people
yeah.
that are out there, like behind the scenes, are amazing. You know,
Jason's gone through a lot too this year
yeah.
or
See,
last year,
he's one of
but
my inspirations. To be
he's
fair,
one of the most dynamic people I know.
yeah, absolutely. And it's a privilege to know you guys. It really is.
We get a lot of tradesmen here. I'm a journeyman metal fabricator, but I work
Wow.
at home still now, forever.
Yeah, I fabricate. I can fabricate anything.
That's what I say to my wife. I can fabricate anything. What do you want to know?
Fabricate lies.
Yeah, the coin
But no, when
community
you
is great support too.
it is, and I mean, Jason's inspiration to me, to be fair, because he has been through the wars,
Yeah.
and you've been through a lot. Darren's been. I mean, we've all been through something, and
You know what? I feel
that's
fortunate
why
compared to
we're.
most people's stories. I really think I've dodged like 100 bullets so far in my life. So whatever does come, I have to kind of take it with a grain of salt because I honestly don't have a hard story up to this point. Like, don't get me wrong, we're hand to mouth. I got zippity doodah in the bank for a guy at my age. Like, pff, forget it. And I'm going to be working till the day I die. This I already know, but
Mm,
none of it has been particularly hard. I avoided wars entirely. My sons are both with me still, a little bit on the old side to be at home, but that's the new,
that's the new
way of
thing.
going
That's the
about it.
new.
Because neither one could afford to go out and get, like, my
No.
oldest, who's 23, 4, he's downstairs in a suite, basically. Now we share a laundry area, and we don't have to be concerned about having it open all the time because he's family. He can come and go as he wishes. But that's what we needed to do to be able to afford this house and have it. He has to work. I have to work. The wife has to work. And we have our my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, who is disabled and has his disability. He is, he gets paid like working as well, basically. So I have one son who's not working, could be, but he just socially doesn't understand how or can't figure out how to get there. So
Mm-hmm. My
I mean,
Tracy
Darren,
has actually said to me today. She says, "You know what? It's time to downsize." And I'm like, "Downsize?" She's, "Yeah. There's a nice looking seniors residence on the other side of town that I'd like to move into." Well, true enough. It's not just where you're stuck in the bed and you got home care right there. They actually have apartments which are quite
yeah.
nice. But it's the downsizing I think that scares me.
they make a little community. People run around on electric carts to get from one place to
Oh
another. It
yeah,
can be a lot of
but
fun.
not just that. But I would be back to sharing a bedroom,
I thought when you said
and I
downside,
wouldn't,
I
and I
thought this is
won't have
good.
my space anymore. So my collection would end up in the front room. I'm like, oh,
And you'd be squeezed up like this.
like
Right.
this. Yeah, we're gonna have to get rid of 3 of the 4 couches, and oh my lord.
I mean, you know, needs most of everybody. I mean, we would love to move out of here and downsize to a flat, or apartment, whatever. Um, but it costs more, um, and it's crazy. I mean, but being at home, the kids been at home. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being at home, to be honest, because it is a big step and it is harder now than it was back in the 80s. Um, and but yeah, it's um, but anyway, I'm just glad that I've come back. I mean, if it went through Zoe, um, I wouldn't be back on YouTube because I never had any plans coming back on YouTube. And I was just playing around with coins and doing it. She was, "Why don't you just do your videos again? And do something." And that's what I did. It was
Oh,
no
I'm so
plan.
glad.
Yeah,
Oh, me
that would
too.
have been
And
quite a loss for us if you think about it.
well, it'd been a big loss to me because I met you guys, another load of incredible people, and I wasn't like never watching coin people. I was just never had a YouTube channel, and I deleted everything. And so I was there like just as a non-viewer, if you know what I mean. I wasn't subscribed to anything. I wasn't, because you can just view without actually being signed up to anything. So, and I come back on, and it's been an amazing journey, to be honest. And I'm glad I'm doing the history thing. I'm glad, I think we all know each other more like family and friends, if that makes sense. We all get into the personal bit sometimes, and it's nice to open. And but Lauren is an amazing girl. She should be a writer, is my opinion. Her writing, because she has autism,
Mm-hmm.
her writing is perfect. Her writing is like calligraphy, and it's all the same. There's not a flaw out of it, and it looks like a printer. That's what I call her. I say, because I can't write very well because of my nerves.
Mm-hmm.
I say, "Can you write out for me, Lars?" And she's there, and I'm like, "Did you print that?" She's "No, I wrote it." And so I was like, "It looks like a printer." I'll get her to write something tomorrow, and or Wednesday, and I'll show you. Her writing is just the most immaculate writing I've ever seen in my life.
Penmanship, you say? Penmanship.
Penmanship, yeah.
That's a dying art in itself now.
Oh, she's got.
Are you kidding? Not just penmanship. You're talking just cursive.
Cursive's gone. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yes, beautiful.
Just go ahead. Just don't pick your pen up. Continue into the next letter. What? Don't pick my pen up. How do I make an E? And then an L.
Add 16 plus 32. Hold on, I'll get my calculator.
Carry the one. Wait.
Oh, not to mention, I can't help any of my grandkids with their math. Their math is completely bizarre now.
Yeah, do you know? I was going to do a YouTube channel before, like living with kidney disease,
Mm-hmm.
And how things change, throughout what goes on, about medication, about how it, not how others live with it, but how I live with it personally. And it was quite odd the day I had my phone call when they said, "Oh, we need you to come into hospital. We've done your results. You need to go on to dialysis." And they were sort of like give me an option whether to go on to hemodialysis or renal dialysis, which is quite weird. And I chose renal dialysis. So I'd do it myself. I had more flexibility, with the renal one. It's not right for everybody because what goes on. But hemodialysis, I was lucky enough to have my best friend give me his kidney.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about. You've done it all by himself. I had no idea.
That's pretty great, man.
He's Matty. That's the one I called 221. It's his birthday in a few days' time. 22189 is his name. That's what I call him anyway. And it's quite weird because when you go for your, because obviously they have to do a financial check. Like you're not doing it for money. You're not doing it for financial gain. You're not forced into do it. And they said one of the strangest questions. They goes, "Do you have any photographs of you guys? when you were younger?" I said, "We're men. We don't go around like women taking Instagram photos at each other. You know what I mean? Doing our fish paste. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, scrapbooking and all that rest of that stuff. Yeah,
guys, and you got to realize it was like not really much about mobile phones with picture cameras on back then. You know what I mean? Like today, everything's got a camera on it. Even your pen, you've got a camera on it.
Yeah, it's not like I go about thinking about how I look or anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, else. There's no photograph of you. No, but I knew we've known each other for a very long time, but there's no real photographs of us as like, hey, buddy, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And another strangest question is like, do you call each other nicknames? Yeah. I said, if you notice, I never call him Matty. I call him 22189, and he calls me Dooms because that's my nickname. And he was like, and he, of course, he went in a week later to have his financial questions, and I didn't know what this was all about, and I was, why is everybody talking about Matty all the time? And it just didn't occur to me that he was the one doing the kidney transplant.
We're bookends now, by the way.
It's like the Canadian flag now.
Bearded bookends. I just need a corresponding hat. It would be way better if I was wearing the right
white
hat.
one in the middle.
I am hatless though. Let me just. I'm hatless. I'm going to hat up here.
But yeah, it's one of the strangest things that ever happened to me during my kidney process. Now, don't forget, I was out of it most of the time. So they give me some child drugs, and because I signed up to anything, I say, yeah, and they gave me this child drug, and for some reason, I decided to go off on a tangent. No, I don't remember this. This is what I was told, and I just walked off somewhere. Okay, I just left my bed, and just wandered off somewhere, and apparently I was 4 hours. I was gone, and they found me in some doctor's room, right? And because I was trying to open the door, but it was actually a sliding door, and I was stuck in this room. And I won't tell you what I did, but you can probably imagine what I did. Well, I was stuck in this doctor's room. The doctor wouldn't come in because there was nobody else in the room. It was dark, and the door was shaking. They didn't know it was obviously somehow I got in this room, and there must have been some kind of like poltergeist in there. The security came and got me, realised it was me that I was looking for. Not talk about the song, right? But anyway, went back to the bed, and a few weeks later, of course, I was waiting in the waiting room because I had to go back and make sure this experimental drug was out of me. And this woman came up to me and goes, Dale, are you okay? Is everything all right now? And I went, yeah, fine, thank you. And I goes to Matt, goes, who's that? And he goes, that's the doctor's room you were stuck in a few weeks ago. That was the doctor you cracked the out of. So yeah, I've never met this person. I started shaking the door. So I couldn't get out. She ran out of her office like 100 miles an hour, apparently.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
it's a flat Earth eclipse.
A flat Earth eclipse. Actually, it's not a flat Earth eclipse, is it? It's a flat moon on a shadow eclipse.
Oh, that's that monolith going by from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
Don't we have to give it whale song or something? I don't remember.
Hello, Dave. Brilliant film, though. Hello, Dave. What can I do for you, Dave?
Actually, I watched The Eternals for the first time yesterday. Very, very good film, especially if you like the Marvel Universe.
Ooh.
I marvel at the universe every
day. Their ship reminded me of the bloody monolith.
I'll tell you what I watched last night, and it wasn't. I did catch the title of the film, but it's about the 103rd Bomb Group. It wasn't the greatest looking film of World War II, but the actual authenticity of the planes had real planes like the B-17s and stuff. And it's about getting 1,000 planes together. It's really, really cool. And that's what I watched last night on YouTube. Like all these free films you can get.
Oh, cool. Amazing. Yeah, they have a lot of them. Oh, Jason, you're taking off, buddy? I don't know what fish you're talking about, but...
Jason's a great guy, man. I love watching his stuff. He's just so clever, man.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty amazing. Love to get down there and meet him face to face.
Oh yeah,
One old scouter to a younger one.
There's some scout books, annuals that I've been trying to get hold of, and obviously I can't walk down there to go and get them because it's a bit far for me for walking and back, and that's why I need. So I said to him, if you want them for your scout group, I'll get them and send them to you. And he goes, no, I'll keep them myself.
Yeah, I sent him a pile, but I again, it depends on whether his troop is able to use some of this stuff or not.
Yeah, this old 70s stuff. This is.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what I saw the other day about scouting? It's a bit about the history tonight, actually. When these, I can't remember the name of them now, but you've heard of the Mayflower, haven't you?
Yeah.
Sure, the Pilgrims.
Right. Yeah, the Pilgrims. Well, they didn't actually set sail on the Mayflower originally. They set off from Plymouth. They got captured, and obviously some escaped, and they went to Amsterdam because it was about free reign to preach. And their family still lives in Amsterdam today, and of course they went back from Amsterdam to Plymouth, and then they set sail on another ship. I can't remember the name of the other ship. And then they went on. They had to go back to Plymouth and catch the Mayflower, which obviously, history speaks for itself from there. I can't remember what I was saying now.
Well, the fact that the passengers off were
the scout movement in Amsterdam, which is like the Thanksgiving in Amsterdam, is still traditional to what they have in Jacksonville, but they still do it in Amsterdam with all the scout movement, and it's really, really cool how they do it. It's been like that every year ever since in Amsterdam. It's really, and also all the scouts. It's really, really cool. So yeah, I saw that the other day. It's really, really neat how they got all these traditions still going from the Pilgrims.
That's interesting. Okay, so they've incorporated into their program of some sort or into the camp. But I'm not sure exactly what
program. Yes, they do this ritual kind of thing, and it's integrated into. But yeah, it's just really, really cool. Yeah, they didn't originally set off to go from England to America. They wanted to go to Holland first.
So the Dutch Scouts have a ceremony or an activity that centers around the Pilgrims going to Holland first after they were hijacked.
Before they were hijacked. Before they were arrested. After they were arrested, they escaped.
Right.
They escaped the dungeons for treason, obviously, because that's what it would have been. Anything against the Church of England was treason. And they wanted to go to Amsterdam, and I can't remember. It wasn't they went. Oh God, what's it? They went to Amsterdam, but they went to another village not so far away. Is it Lille or Lai or something like that? But their original family is still there today, and they are because that's where it will come from. It's come from Great Britain, really, to Amsterdam, to America. It's actually But yeah, this part of the Scouts has this tradition every year for the Thanksgiving ceremony.
Oh, okay. So they have a Thanksgiving ceremony in Amsterdam.
Yeah, or in
Okay,
this
gotcha.
town near Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's pretty cool. I watched that. It was actually really, really good. Obviously not for the people, but it's the history. Is like you have all these scouts, and these scouts, and all their badges, all their things going up. Obviously, I wasn't in the scouts personally, and I thought it was really, really cool to watch these youngins, getting involved with something that is traditionally, um, scouting in the US has really taken a.
Well, if you really want to hear some very interesting history that's tied in with scouting, as you know, scouting really took off in 1907. That's when Robert Stevenson Smythe Baden Powell was coerced by the king to form a scout movement because the kids in England were forming gangs and they were being a bunch of troublemakers. And the king saw what uh, uh, Baden Powell had done in Moff King with the cadets there and utilized them doing pantomimes and stuff to during the siege of Moff King so that the Boers didn't attack. And he saw that it really helped the kids that were there. And he says, "Well, can you do something similar here?" So he did a pilot camp at Brownsea, and it took off. And what happened is that the scouting movement went like crazy. It absolutely went wildfire. They used to make their own uniforms, the whole nine yards. And the parents used to make them for them. And it got to be such a big movement that come 1914, keeping in mind that it was designed after the military. So they had military style uniforms and whatnot. They marched. They did the whole nine yards. They learned all kinds of camp craft stuff, and very militaristic. One of the things that they were loyal to king and country, and that they were willing to be the first ones to volunteer. And Baden Powell, when he went to the scout halls after the first year in World War I, he realized that all the scout halls were empty. All those kids that were raised that became scouts were killed in World War I, and he swore then that it was going to modify the program so it would be a program of peace, not something that's militaristic. Even though they maintained the facade of the military, they wanted to get away from that, and it's kind of gone way too far. But that's what happened with Baden Powell, is that he was absolutely shattered after the first year of World War I. No, the scout halls were empty.
That's
a lot of people
crazy.
don't realize that.
No, it's shocking when you hear like children. Exploited like that.
And you know what? The recruiters didn't help.
Youth as well, isn't it? Similar to
the recruiters in Britain did not help, because kids were going in there at 14, 15 years of age, lying about their age, and they were promoting it. So there were lots of 15-year-old kids on the line in World War I. Lots of them.
Lots. There was more than what people would dare to think, I guess. The scouting movement here says what Saman says. The scouting in the US has really taken a hurting due to the offender cases of recent. A very few bad apples in the past has hurt the reputation today. We're trying hard to bring it back. When you've got a dark cloud over like that, that is really difficult. And I hope it does, because I think a lot of the problem today, the kids are bored and they need this. They need this outdoor activity. The electronic computers are taking over. They need to get out and about.
Yeah, and you're right. They do. They do need to get up and out and about. The problem with it is that they've gone too far the other way, because, as Jason's brought up, there's been too many pedophiles and crap going into youth, not just scouting, but into the movements of various youth groups, and they have to be screened out, and they do the best they can with them. But because of that, the insurances have gone up. They've done away with a lot of the things that we used to be able to do with the kids.
Yeah.
And at one time, you could drop a scout off, and they'd be able to use orienteering, find their way back, be able to start a fire without a match, be able to build a lean-to. All the traditional scouting has gone, and it's really hard to find a troop that does it now.
I mean, I wasn't in the Scouts per se, but I was in the cadets and in the Air Force cadets. Mm-hmm. And I went all the way from there, from 13 till I was 19, and just coming up to 19 because my shift changed. And I was a VRT, which is voluntary reserve training, and so I've had a lot of experience with that. And nowadays, you barely go flying. You barely shoot a real gun.
Oh, I know. And that's cadets.
You don't do bridge building because it's against health and safety. You know how to build a bridge across the thing. I mean, you do that easily with telegraph poles and stuff like that. You don't do the assault course as much as you would do. And, you know, I mean, we used to like bundle fights, go all night GDT, fly, do parachute training, do aerobatics, shoot 303 rifles and 2.2 rifles, still do the traditional marching and parades and stuff. And you say, you know, as Jason said, there's a lot of bad people out there that ruin it for people who want to really promote these children into something great, you know, and it's a great milestone. It's not the same.
Breaks the heart, really.
Hey guys, I gotta interject for a moment because I want to do a quick thing. And I know we could go on, and I don't know how much later you intend to go. It's almost an hour 52 now. So I'd just like to say, of course, you know, it's great when you can get, and it's fun to win. It's also fun when you can give back. And I want to have a little fun being part of this here and ask the people if they wouldn't mind, if you're here right now, this is what I want you to do. Give me just a second to show you.
Okay.
I would like you to type hashtag thank you into the chat if you're here right now. I'd like to thank all our other hosts, Numismaniac, Dale, the guys that come out, all. But I'm going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to show you what it is. But first, you got to do the hashtag thank you to be part of it. So if you're here, that's the only way you get a chance to do this. So I think your chances are pretty darn good because I don't think there's that many people here. But that being said, anybody who's still here, listen to us banter back and forth, and I've just been listening mostly. I want to thank you. So let's get that hashtag in there and see how many people we can get. Anybody who wants to get in on this can, because I'm going to show you what it is. This is what it is.
It's a shame that, you know, these movements are being ruined by predatory activities. I mean, I've never come across that in the cadets myself, but me and Zoe went up to my old station a while ago, and it's closed. It's absolutely closed down, and it was there since World War II. But
come on, folks.
Yeah, Tracy and I were actually part of the organization that instituted the enhanced security clearances for the vulnerable sectors because there was such an issue back in the 80s with the predators, and it's helped somewhat, but it's still not enough. but it
No.
also has really caused the program to suffer a lot. Not just scouting, but all of them.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, if I was to be like joining the scouts and I was all to do with the scouts, I would rather. I mean, I know when you screen people and people do take it to heart that you're treating me like. No, we're treating. It's not about you. It's about child safety.
It's protecting the child, of course.
Right, and I'll say, okay, screen me, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got nothing. If you got nothing to hide, you wouldn't worry about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, screen me, not a problem. And it's if you got something, when you start kicking up and not, I think I'm being treated. I think there's something there that, to me personally, I think that someone's got something to hide and they start kicking up a fuss about things because if you've got nothing to hide, you won't be worried about being screened. But as you said, we would, one of our orienteering was 26-mile hike, and I was trained to be a navigator, and I wanted to be a navigator, and I thought it was my duty to navigate across 26 miles worth of terrain. But this guy wanted, he was all for it, and he got us lost. I knew he got us lost, but we was just having fun with everything anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, my son's disabled, right? And I'll show you a picture of one. That's my son with the mayor and the police because he's a police cadet.
Oh, awesome.
And I asked him, what, because is there like a ranking system? Is there, sort of any kind of like, there's no one. So that's my. There he is. Looking all dapper in his uniform.
Good looking lad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know if you can see him
I can
very
see
well.
that fellow is the Prime
I'm very
Minister.
proud of him, absolutely proud of him. But I did karate for years and years and years. And he's actually named after my hero's son, which is Brandon. His name is Brandon Lee.
I know who Brandon Lee is.
Yeah, I couldn't call him Bruce Lee because Bruce Lee is my hero. So
lost in a movie shoot, unfortunately.
Yeah, so yeah, he's but yeah, I'm proud of him, but he's 16 now, believe it or not, and cheeky git,
Cheeky git.
But yeah, he goes. They just do police activities, but not like we would have done. You know what I mean? There's no real ranking system because it keeps people on a level playing field, which I think is okay in a way, but I think it's wrong because I think if you're progressing, you earn the progression state, and it gives you a chance of achieving more. But him being in the wheelchair, I said to him like, because you're in a wheelchair, it doesn't stop you from doing what you want to do. It doesn't.
That's right.
But he's glad, he's glad he's done it, and yeah, he's a cheeky man. He's got a cheeky as hell. Thank you.
I'm listening to my dog. He's making all kinds of weird noises behind me. What are you up to?
Oh, do you know I said I'd do some cooking? I've done this today. This is what we had for tea today. You ready? I'm just going to play it from the beginning. It went a bit funny, so excuse that bit.
Was it shepherd's pie?
Yeah, but I made this all by myself. Ready?
Nice.
Oh, mate, so
You're
good.
you're making me hungry again, buddy.
There goes the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Comes out the cheese.
I made meatloaf the other day, but I made typical. I'm used to making for the whole family, and there's nobody here but me and Tracy. So I got this big bloody meatloaf. I go, oh great! Now I got meatloaf for like 3 days. I turned them into hamburgers. Day
I was
2 and
just
day
gonna
3,
say
you cut them up, throw
slices.
some
Yeah,
cheese on there, and baby, you got a hamburger.
perfect. Yeah, and a better spiced hamburger than most.
Oh,
hamburgers.
they're great, and they fit perfectly on your bread.
Think about that meatloaf burger. Good idea.
Meatloaf burger.
Meatloaf
Probably
burgers.
sell it. Don't tell McDonald's.
Papa Peppino's original Italian
My
beef.
wife is telling me from the. What was that, darling?
Let me say most molestations, both against
So
boys
different.
and girls, happens within families. Oh, I'm sorry about that, EAC.
Yeah. Jason's got quite the cookbook, by the way.
Yeah, that happens. That happened at my school, in a Catholic boys' school that I went to, but not to me, but to others. It happened. It's terrible. Again, like I said, my whole life I avoided all the terrible things that have happened to people, even nearby me. Like, so far, so good. I'm blessed. I can't complain. What do you want?
Amethyst has never had shepherd's pie.
Oh,
Oh, you're missing out.
Probably had it and they called it something else. Or something
It
very
is-
similar because it's a staple.
yes. Shepherd's pie and cottage pie, the difference is that one's made with beef and the other one's made with lamb.
What about good and properly made French tortilla?
Mm.
Mm.
You
My
are
favorite
you do understand I haven't had dinner and I have to go up and make it,
Me
right?
too. I haven't had it yet either. I'm getting mine made.
We're torching ourselves.
It's over there. My lovely wife is making something. I don't know what it is, but I'll be happy to receive it.
You got a shepherd's pie.
Last night
No.
my sister was talking about French
My
toast. I
favorite.
ended up making it.
My favorite is consomme, chicken consomme.
Well, that's a go-to when I'm sick.
Isn't that like chicken soup with no chicken in it?
That's right. It's just broth.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah,
How
it's
is that
broth,
worthwhile?
basically.
Beef broth,
Oh,
bouillon, chicken bouillon.
So as you guys can see, this is, of course, the set of the Painted, Unpainted UN Charter and relatively uncirculated. I will package them for you and I will send them to you if you are the lucky winner of the draw. So please put hashtag thank you in the chat and then you will win
Feel
that.
like-
Or you may not. I cannot promise that. There you go.
That's a new number one.
Field
So
guy,
we've
you'd be hard pressed finding maple syrup in Alberta. A tree, that is.
I was about to say, put a hashtag thank you in the chat, and he's just done it.
Listen, how far do I have to go to get mine?
Well,
There
grocery
it is,
store.
right there. It's
President's
within arm's
choice?
reach. How
Oh,
long was I gone? You know what I'm saying? Look, there's not much left.
you know, I'm
I'm gonna have
trying.
to
I'm
make a
trying to
trip.
detract him from having that stereotype. You're not helping.
What do you mean, eh?
Sorry.
He drinks no
Oh, that's
syrup out
Molnar
of
now.
this
Where's
plastic
Molnar
bottle.
when we need him?
Yeah, he's hiding.
Well, he's still a little bit silly. I don't know why he hasn't learned yet. He was drinking beers on stream the other day, and he still goes out and buys those 7.1% beers. It's just, dude, you don't have to get hammered extra fast. Just, turn it back down to good tasting beers because they always taste so alcoholic. They do not taste great. I don't care. You can't give me a high alcohol beer that I think tastes the way I really like beer to taste. You can't.
Our strongest beer over here is 10.4%, and that's Supertenant's beer.
Oh, we can get super strong beer. I'm not saying that he bought the strongest beer he could get, but 7.1 is still, when you get to that point, you're going to have a little bit of a, it's going to give me a taste I'm not really looking for.
When I used to drink, right? When I used to drink, now, I had one Supertenant, and it tasted like thick treacle. You know, it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't nice. It was just disgusting, to be honest. It was probably. I thought, why would they make this? This is just the most unpleasant taste. It's like licking at tar from a road. You know, I think that's probably make it because it tastes like when you're drunk. You fall on your flat on your face and look at tar.
Even though I don't drink except during the summer months when I have a barbecue, there's two beer that I love. Sleeman's Honey Brown, absolutely delicious, and a Guinness, ice cold.
Oh, love Guinness. I miss Guinness. I don't drink anymore, but I do miss Guinness.
Like I say, once a year.
I never got the appreciation for the Guinness. I just didn't figure it out.
Draft Guinness. Draft Guinness is the best Guinness.
Draft Guinness is the best, and have it with prime rib with Yorkshire pudding.
Oh yes, and thick onion gravy.
Oh yeah.
When I want to get that really strong beer, this is the one that comes to mind up here. We can get this at the local brewery store, and this is from Denmark, and that's a pretty strong 10% beer. This one company makes quite a few different really strong beers, and quite a few different beers too. But facts, yeah, we've run into these a few times. They got a couple that isn't too bad that are like this. This is the 5% version here, premium, but they go up from there, and I think 10% is about the highest one these guys make. But
oh, I forgot to tell you, Dale. Bug Farmer's sending me some honey.
Oh, I got honey still in there. I got that. Zoe and Lauren's been after that jar for nearly 2 years, and I said, "Not a chance, Nick."
I dropped your name as a referral, and he says, "Oh, just send me your address."
He's a great guy. He is absolutely awesome.
Oh, I love his stingometer.
Oh, he's one of those channels. You have to start. It's like an episode of like a series. You have to start from the beginning, from when he starts up, because he's just like a normal everyday backyard honeybee keeper, and he builds up his own things, and it just gets growing and growing and growing. Now he's on chickens, and he does more wine. That wine, I can't remember what it's called. Bee wine. What's it called? Man, he's not allowed to sell it. But yeah, anyway, he's great woodshop man. He makes all his own stuff, great tips and stuff. He goes, "Oh, Dale, you should get into any bees." I said, "I'd love to, but
I'd recommend his channel to anybody because it is not only entertaining, it's bloody funny. I know he's laughing at someone else's misery, but when that stingometer came up and he got nailed like 20 some odd times, I was in stitches while he's running to the house.
He looks like an Ewok in a stormtrooper outfit. Going,
oh, it was so funny! My God, wouldn't catch me dead doing that.
That never gets funny. It never gets boring. I mean, all the time. I watched that, and I watched that over and over and over again. That was just brilliant. And the way he goes out there and looks for the queen and shows you what's going on. I watched a lot of like insect stuff as well, funny enough, but he seems to be a lot more in depth with the comedy side of it.
It is.
And he goes out with no gloves. There's some of the other people go out there and they go out with no protection whatsoever because the bees know the pheromones to him But if I went out there, I'd probably get stung a million times. Like a blinking.
Oh, guaranteed.
I look like a cactus at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's a great guy. He's an absolutely awesome guy. He sent us 4 jars, but one got broke. Zoe had 2, and I had 1. And they've been after that.
Came all the way from Georgia.
Oh yeah, I can't stand honey, and I can't horrible stuff. But I tasted that one. It was sweet as a nut. Absolutely beautiful. Jonathan Wolf.
Hello, hello, hello.
Especially
thank you, sir. Yeah, I made it smaller so you could see the hashtag. So, if you don't put a hashtag in it when you set it up, then it works as well. I just did hashtag because people are used to that. And here's the other thing.
You really got to train me in some of this stuff that you're doing.
I can only do this for you on this stream today because I'm in the partnership. If I was if I was somebody you just brought up, I wouldn't be able to do this. But because I have the other seat, I'm able to do it.
Yeah, Dale can also do it too. He's in partnership as well.
I know, it's cool. I like it.
I don't know. I do not have to set you guys up on my one because I have no idea how to do it. You're ahead
when
of me
you
on
figure
that
it
so
out,
far.
and if you feel it makes sense, then I'm happy to help.
Yeah, sure. I told you anybody's allowed up on my stream. There's no restrictions. I mean,
but this is another step. Like when you've given away a seat, I can mess with the whole thing right now, right? I can start.
Yeah, he's in control. And you could do the same thing, Dale. And he's going, really? I can?
Macho Dale. And then you can drag and drop too, which is fun. Where did he go? Okay, we're going to wait in the middle till he comes back, and I'll put myself back up here, and boom. Chickada-boom.
Oh, it's the bug farmer, Amethyst. The bug farmer.
Not that gal who plays Bee Swarming?
No. That's Treasure Woman.
Treasure Woman, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do that. I got dizzy.
What's the name of what, Amethyst? What channel would you like? Oh,
Bug she wanted guy? The bug farmer.
I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Bug farmer? Bug farmer. Coming up soon will be the end of our draw today. Please enter hashtag thank you soon as you can.
I love that feature too.
Actually, there's another one that's almost more fun. It's like the stadium sound. In this corner, we have weighing in at 227 pounds, the one, the only, the Numismatics. How about
127 pounds. I haven't been that weight since I was 10.
I deducted 100 for you, bud, because I love you. If somebody would deduct 100 for me, I'd happily give them up. Hashtag thank you in the and then of course be here when we do the thing is how it works. Anyway.
The last time I was 100 pounds was in weight in chocolate.
I like those bills. Those are awesome.
Or 100 pounds coin. But yeah. Have you noticed anything that have you seen this Santa?
No, I don't know anything about him. I'm not related to him in any way, shape, or form. Please don't ask me any questions about my brother. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Yeah, I never heard of the man before. Let me think about it. No, he's not in my family. I don't think I know him.
He's the skipper's twin.
I'm the biggest. I was the mutant. I was the mutant elf. I never got small.
Santa. He's left his twin to undo all the Christmas decorations.
Well, Darren just realized how good a business it is at Christmas time, so he's going to work his way for next year.
Ho, 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 ho. I couldn't possibly be a Santa. They haven't got the suit the right size.
Oh, believe me, they can find one.
Yeah, they've never seen a Santa. I'm 3 sizes too big for the Santa suit that I had. I had to hand it down to somebody else.
Oh, we're going to get in the ho-hoing here.
Well,
Oh,
220.
I got some siren going on outside there. You hear that?
Sandman,
Stop.
when I went through basic training, I went from 210 to 153 pounds. Then after I got through my trades training in the infantry, I went up to 175, stayed that weight for 22 years. On retirement, I quit smoking. I gained 100 pounds. And it's been hell trying to get it off ever since. Because I can taste food.
And it's yummy.
There you go. When you have kidney problems, right, you have a really horrible thing called lose taste buds. All right, and I mean, it is the worst thing ever. Now you can eat. If someone gave you a taste test and just if you have a blindfold on and earphones and you had to lick chocolate or this back of this cardboard, right, it will just taste like eating this piece of metal. Okay.
Ugh.
And no, I had that for 4 years where I couldn't taste anything apart from metal. And it was no point. This is just not a problem, right? But my very first thing I tasted when I come round, of course, I come out in anaesthetic, and with being ill from a child, the best things for me to eat when you come out of like any kind of operation, because you've had tubes all down your throat and everything. This is a good tip. Is I just eat Starburst. Starburst is the best.
Starburst.
Okay. Yeah, right, because it brings all your juices back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now, as I talked about my friend Matty, he never had an operation before, and he was drinking water, making him more thirsty. And I said, have a Starburst. He had a Starburst, fine. But my actual real thing I ever had back, apart from that, was a banana. And I tell you, this banana was so potent, I couldn't handle the taste. It was the strongest tasting banana I ever had in my life. And then I had, a few weeks later, I had some Walker's crisp. I had some prawn cocktail crisp, and it felt like my tongue was on fire. It's the most strangest feeling, having taste back, but you couldn't taste it because everything was like aeroplane food. It's so strong. I was like, man, I can't eat chocolate. Couldn't eat chocolate. Couldn't go near it because it was strong. Milk, drink milk, too strong. It was the most weirdest thing ever, is having your taste buds back fully and functioning. Milk, couldn't handle milk. It's too slimy, tasted of I guess.
Cow.
Fluoride, you can taste a lot of fluoride, especially in water.
You can keep fluoride. Yuck.
Okay, I have no interest in you spoiling the idea of what a milk tastes like at this point. But yes, so it tasted horrible and not at all like it should.
No.
You were broken, basically.
I was very broken.
But you're better now.
Toffee, caramel, toffee. Oh, God. That was like solidified milk. It was not very good. And I actually ate less. So I went from 20 stone down to 13 stone, and I was actually losing weight because I couldn't handle taste. And so that was another problem I had, is that I couldn't eat because everything was like strong. It was like eating aeroplane food on the ground, because obviously you get a lot more flavors on aeroplane food when you're high altitude. But it was like salty and fruit. Couldn't touch fruit. Oranges. Couldn't go near orange. I'd rather have a ton of pepper in my mouth than an orange.
I'm gonna make myself some sloppy joes for dinner.
I recognise the Arrowhead Devil's Brigade.
That's right. I'm a member of the association.
Oh. Starting to look like ZZ Top on the screen. Two beards.
Yeah, but yours is too short yet. You got to make it a little longer.
I know.
And I trimmed mine back after Christmas.
Just waiting for it to grow for next year.
This is November.
It'll start in the end of June.
Are you
This
actually
is
going to take it all
November, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is really good.
I don't know how long I'll keep it.
Oh, with a little bit of beard oil, it feels really nice. With this weather, it feels good on the face.
You
some
took it off now.
added protection.
I reckon that's the Devil's Brigade. I got Under Armour. Not a member.
Let's see here, CoinCam, that's the one. Okay, just zoom that in. That's the one. Oh, that fits. It's upside down, right? Of course it is.
What you doing?
Ooh.
Me, chocolate. Armistice says, I got it. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. You know, I see those guitars and I think to myself, I wish I had learned how to play a guitar when I was younger.
Nothing can keep you from owning one. Just buy one.
You know what I'd love to do is buy one, learn how to play it, and then shock everybody in the family by being able to play.
Start with a little one.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
It's just a place to hang things. That's all it is. Yeah.
I started to learn to play the actual guitar, but I started off on a very, very hard song, which is like
I played trumpet in the military marching band.
So I love to learn that. I love to learn. I mean, people who play musical instruments is just amazing. You know, I just can't put two tunes together unless I've accidentally dropped something, or that's the only musical instrument I can play. Just drop it. And it makes some kind of noise going ting 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 ting.
Oh, I didn't know you knew how to play there, Jason. Get one of those bloody, what do you call them? The electronic what do you call it? Computerized guitar.
Synthesizer.
One where you just press the notes and air. Is it called an air guitar?
It's called a evil thing.
Evil thing.
Evil thing. My brother, he when he was at school, he came home one day with a violin, and this is the most funniest. If you would have been there, it's more funnier. Now, my brother lives in America, and he sort of knows everything about everything. And my brother bought this violin, and it's probably been in the storage for about 1 million years. And of course, he sat there, and my brother goes, "I'm going to learn to play the violin." And of course, we couldn't afford to buy one, so the school lent my brother one, and And we sort of looked at it. I'm pretty sure it had woodworm or something like that or whatever. And my dad goes, "You're not playing that here." And I think that's probably why. Because risking of a bill because it may have broke at any time because I think the wood was turned into paper. But anyway, my brother was there and he was on this horrible screeching noise, whatever. Now, my brother walks and he goes, "I know how to play that." If you ever learned to touch a guitar, you don't know what a violin looks like, right? And then he picks up this violin, takes it off my brother. My dad just said, "Don't touch it. I'm not having a bill. Taking it back. You can learn something else, but you're not having a violin to play with. Can't afford it." And this thing was rotten to hell. You can see it. And he held it up like this. My eldest brother, and he went. This string went boing. String just broke. It looked like something out of the cartoon, and me and my mates were just crying. This noise was like this. Broke a string on it instantly. So yeah, that didn't go back to the school. That sort of stayed at home. Oh man, so funny. It was the worst noise I've ever heard in my life. It was like that this thing was making.
What happened to Darren here? Oh, there he
I
is.
think he's just right here. There he is. Just
You're fading in and out.
I'm fading in and out.
Yeah, don't look at the light.
Now's the time to serve and preserve BC brand Bartlett pears.
No down interest.
No down interest?
No down payment. No interest. Only at the brick.
No back talk.
You know what? Jason's
No talk
full of
back.
wallpaper.
Check one, too. Yeah, let me get rid of this.
Guitar,
I need to go here. I need to that down. That's better.
It's amazing how jingles from the 80s commercials and whatnot stick with you.
Oh, yeah.
426-5050. If you're hungry, call the Lido. Free delivery.
I'll give you a competition, right? If you look back at a commercial in the 80s or even the 70s, say late 70s, early 80s, and some of the 90s, with the chocolate advertisements, I bet you remember most of them. But if you look at the ones today, you wouldn't even think back 20 years and go, "Oh God, that was rubbish." But if you look back at I remember that. Oh, I love that chocolate bar. They don't make that anymore.
I can do you one better. I can go back to the 50s. Hi ho, it's off to eat we go. The hi ho lunch is the best of the bunch. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. Place called Hi Ho.
But I bet there's the thing is the commercialization of things is so unimaginative. There's no jingles that will be inspired today.
Yeah, the one commercial I remember best was the Flintstones smoking. I think it was Winston's they were smoking.
Do you know what? I don't know. I remember Fred used to smoke.
Oh, Fred and Barney used to sneak behind the rock house while the girls were cutting the grass.
With the dinosaurs. Turtles, isn't it?
Oscar Mayer Wieners, yes.
I remember we used to have a lot of smoke in commercials here. And my dad used to go to me, and don't forget, I'm only like 6, 7 years old, and go down the shop and go and get me a cigarette. Not a packet, it'd be like one or two. And because of us kids, we would try and find the cheapest cigarette place you can go to and make sure we got enough change for ourselves. So like, I don't know, about say 5p a cigarette, whatever. And we'll
They
make
used
sure
to
we sell
separate cigarettes?
Yeah. And
Wow.
my dad think we're going to go for like 5 minutes, go around. No, we went looking for the cheapest one so we can get more money for it. So we'd be gone for hours and come back with like, oh, we made like 4 pence. So we found one that sells one for a penny, and it's probably the most crappiest. We've never smoked, so we
That
don't know what it
became
tastes.
against the law to keep it from getting in the hands of children. That's why singles were outlawed, just to keep children from being able to buy them.
Yeah, because you used to buy. There used to be packs of 10, packs of 20, or whatever they come in. I think they come in 18s now. 50 times as much.
How about that? Can you hear that?
Yeah, it is, Jonathan. Yeah, I can hear.
Yes, it is. But yes, drinking. There's a lot more gambling online now. And our
Jonathan,
advertising.
that's a go I'm going to do at the end of whenever we're done. So yes, it's a go. To answer your question.
What time we got here? 18. Yeah, let's do it in 4 minutes. I'll shut it down.
Right on. Okay then. So once again, that's the answer. Hashtag thank you.
So it's 1780 until 1784 next week on Wednesday, right?
All right.
What, for me?
For the
For
next
who
stream.
what?
Yeah, my next stream is on Wednesday.
Yeah, 1780 till 1784, right?
Put on some
1780 to 84. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to put
You
that
got
in
any
the title?
coins from that period?
I do, yes.
Good.
Likely to happen.
Actually, I don't think I'll have to get some. I'm pretty sure I'll give a lot of my stuff away.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I got some. I'm 100% sure I got some. But what you're going to have to do, do you know your history with Numismatics? I will put that into the title as well so people know what years they're looking for, if that makes sense. Because I'm terrible.
Awesome.
That's just for me, really, because my brain's crazy.
Yeah, I should actually put that in the title. 1770 or 1780 to 84. I can do that.
That sounds like the F1.
Yeah, put it in again, Amethyst.
So what do you think? Should we let it roll?
Let it roll.
Let it roll.
I'll do it one more time just in case. There we go.
What do you got to lose? Nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
Good luck, everybody.
Good
So
luck.
that's the magic button. There's a whole gall darn 90 out there. This is for a matching set of loonies, which is the $1 Canadian coin. Here we go. Good luck, everyone.
Lauren Green.
Green.
There we go, folks. A new face. Now, my email is dimebagdarrenlowe, L-O-W-E, at gmail.com. I will type it into the chat so you can get it easily. And then you know what to do. Let me know where to send these things, and I shall do so. Thank you very much for playing with us today.
And thanks for doing that, Darren. That's great.
That's really cool, actually, Darren. Congratulations.
I like they're in Australia. Upper, lower, east Moldavia. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So I tell you, I'm really, really, really happy with this interface for audio that I purchased. It gave me a little bit of a rocky start, but I'm once again on the promoter trail. I just now plugged the bass into it because I'd never done that yet, and I thought I would just for fun. But honestly, this thing is really, really cool and
Well, that's
super
awesome,
easy
man.
to use for anybody who would like to plug a microphone into. When I say a microphone, I mean, a pro microphone into your computer to do the streaming thing. Then the Revelator 24 IO, I should say, the Revelator IO 24 from the company called PreSonus is a really good thing. And if you want to ask me why, feel free to do so at any time. I'm making a video soon, and I kind of made another video already, kind of, I think. And also you can look it up. And if you ever want any, I'm a nut for this equipment. So if you want my opinion, I'm always happy to share it, I guess is what I'm trying to get for there.
Mercy buckets.
So Lauren Green, hopefully you'll reach out to me in the email, and I shall take care of you with that pretty gaw, which is a silly name for it because God does not sound very appetizing.
So thank you, Amethyst and Jonathan Wolf and Lauren Green and Evil Arch Conservative, Dimebag Darren, of course, and my buddy Dale and Jason at Sandman Coins and Collectibles. My goodness, all these wonderful people that came by today.
Amazing people.
Appreciate all of you. If I missed anybody, forgive me. You just so many of you. And tell your friends and family to come on board. We're slowly but surely honing this thing. And actually, I'm enjoying the older history. It's getting more of a challenge to find some examples for the coins, but hey, that's part of the game.
Part and parcel of it. Did anybody see my new coin hunt, the future of coin hunting today? I can't get coins for level money, okay? Level money, no pun intended.
Oh, yeah.
So Lauren decided to do some plastic coins and get some toy money and do it.
Well, I don't know how that'll be received, but it's better than nothing. Money is money after all, right?
Exactly. It's Chinese money, but you have to be careful because they might copy that Chinese money and turn it into silver coins. You never know. They'll be fake. I tell you, plastic money is the future. You've got plastic notes now here.
We do.
And you have
we have the polymer notes now.
Yeah, so I think coins are going to be plastic. It's going to be the future. I'm revolutionizing coin hunting.
Yeah. Awesome, man. And with that, guys, we'll do an end stream. Thank you very much for coming by. And we'll catch you all. Keep an eye out for Thursday. Wait a minute. Where are we? Are we on Monday? Wednesday. What is today? Is today Wednesday?
It's Monday. It's Tuesday for me now.
I'm losing it.
It's my Saturday, so don't ask me.
I'm losing. Oh, that's right. It's Monday today. Oh my God. So I'm back on Wednesday and Dale's on Thursday.
And I have no particular day unless it's karaoke night, and then those are Wednesday nights, but they're not yet. They'll be soon. So ring my bell and you'll know.
You got her, bud.
I look forward to
Thanks for everything, guys.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody. And Sandman, it's great to see you. Armistice, Scrapping Order and Tinker in front, of course, Jonathan Wolf and Lauren Green. Congratulations. EAC, congratulations. And Dimebag Darren, thank you so much for everything. And you're a great man. And thank you, Skipper. And much love to everybody. Have a great week. If I don't see you on the stream, I can't wait till Wednesday. And I'll see you guys very soon.
Bye.